The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers. Monday, October 6th, Electra's surprise visitor, Deke's special hope request. The Bold and the Beautiful B&B spoilers for Monday, October 6th, reveal that Electra Forrester, Lania Grace, will get a surprise visitor while Deke Sharp, Harrison Cohn, delivers a special request to Hope Logan, Annika Noel. Since Electra hasn't been returning Will Spencer's crew Morrow texts or phone calls, he'll take matters into his own hands and force a conversation. Will doesn't want to pressure Electra, but he just won't be able to stay away from her any longer. Once Will pays Electra an in-person visit, he'll see for himself just how much pain she's in. That'll break Will's heart and leave him filled with remorse for all the drama they're dealing with. There's nothing Will would love more than to turn back the clock and avoid landing in bed with Luna Nozawa, Lisa Yamada that night. It was Luna's fault, but Will's still going to feel guilty about keeping secrets and all the sorrow Electra's feeling now. Despite the love they both still feel for each other, Electra and Will's relationship could be blown apart forever if Luna's baby truly belongs to him. Will and Electra will have a lot to talk about, but they can't nail down any real plans for their next chapter until a paternity test happens. In the meantime, Deke will seek Hope out at Forrester Creations and hope she can help him get his foot in the door. Since Deke went to design school and has plenty of talent, Hope will definitely see potential in him. B&B spoilers say Deke will be desperate to break into the fashion industry, so Hope's restarted line could give him the perfect opportunity to do that. Hope will likely invite Deke to be part of Hope for the Future's revival, so he may jump at the chance to get involved in their new collection. This could be the big break that Deke's been waiting for, so he'll certainly be appreciative. The Bold and the Beautiful spoilers say Hope's reunion with her half-brother will turn into some positive Deke career news, so stay tuned for updates on the road ahead. CDL will have other scorching Bold and the Beautiful spoilers, updates and news to check out, so make us your favorite B&B hotspot. The Bold and the Beautiful, Monday, October 6th, Electra's surprise visitor and Deke's special hope request. The sun streamed through the vast windows of the Forrester Creations office, casting warm rays over the sleek furniture and immaculate design boards. For some, it was a typical Monday morning in Los Angeles, but for Electra, the day promised an unexpected twist. She sat at her desk, fingers poised over her laptop, trying to focus on her latest fashion line proposal. Yet, her mind wandered, distracted by a lingering sense that today wouldn't be ordinary. Little did she know, a surprise visitor was about to upend her carefully structured world. Across town, Deke was pacing nervously in his apartment. He had been holding on to a secret hope, a request that had been weighing on him for weeks. The idea of asking for help made him uneasy, but his desire for a fresh start and reconciliation with his loved ones was stronger than his pride. Today, he was determined to take a step forward, no matter how vulnerable it made him feel. Electra's day takes an unexpected turn. Electra's phone buzzed insistently on her desk, snapping her out of her thoughts. Glancing at the screen, her eyes widened. The name flashing across her screen wasn't one she expected, someone from her past, someone who had always had the power to stir both excitement and unease within her. With a deep breath, she answered. "Hello," she said cautiously, her voice laced with curiosity. Electra, the voice on the other end was unmistakable. Smooth, confident, yet tinged with a hint of mystery. "It's been a long time." Electra's heart skipped a beat. She hadn't spoken to him in years. The memories came flooding back, some exhilarating, others tinged with regret. I wasn't expecting to hear from you," she admitted, her tone a mixture of hesitation and intrigue. "Well, consider this a surprise visit," he replied cryptically. "I'll be in Los Angeles today. I thought it might be nice to catch up." Electra's mind raced. Could she really handle this? She hesitated for a moment, weighing her options. Finally, curiosity won over caution. "All right," she said, her voice firmer than she felt. "Come by, but just for a short visit." The decision set the stage for an emotionally charged encounter. Electra hung up the phone and took a deep breath, trying to steady the mix of anticipation and anxiety coursing through her veins. She busied herself with her work, but every tick of the clock made her heart race a little faster. Deke's special request. Meanwhile, Deke was nervously arranging his thoughts. He had written down his request multiple times, crumpling each draft into a pile on the floor. Finally, he settled on a clear, heartfelt approach. He knew it wasn't easy to ask for help, but this was about more than pride, it was about hope, healing, and a chance to rebuild bridges he had burned long ago. He walked into Hope's boutique, the familiar scent of fresh flowers and fabric softener greeting him. Hope looked up from a pile of sketches, her expression lighting up with a mix of surprise and warmth. "Dickie, what are you doing here?" she asked, masking her curiosity with a friendly smile. I need to ask you something," Dickie said, his voice steady but his hands betraying a slight tremor. "I know I haven't always been the easiest person to deal with, but I'm hoping, maybe, you could help me with something. It's important, really important." Hope studied him carefully, sensing the sincerity beneath his nervous exterior. She could see that this request came from a place of genuine intent, a rare glimpse of vulnerability from someone who had often kept his emotions guarded. "All right, Dickie," she said softly. "Tell me what it is." Dickie took a deep breath, choosing his words with care. "I want to make things right," he said. "Not just with you, but with everyone I've hurt. I'm asking if you could give me a chance. A chance to prove that I've changed." Hope's eyes softened, touched by his honesty. "Dickie, that's a lot to ask," she replied gently. "But I can see that you mean it. Let's figure out how we can work through this, together." A sense of relief washed over Dickie, and for the first time in weeks, he allowed himself a small, hopeful smile. The surprise encounter. Back at Forrester Creations, Electra's nerves were on edge. The sound of the front door opening made her jump, her pulse quickening. She smoothed down her outfit and walked toward the entrance, trying to compose herself. And there he was, standing casually, yet undeniably magnetic. His presence was enough to make the room feel smaller, the air charged with tension and anticipation. "Electra," he said, his voice carrying that same smooth confidence, yet softened by a hint of familiarity. "It's been too long." Electra felt a swirl of emotions, anger, nostalgia, curiosity, and an undeniable spark of excitement. "Yes, it has," she replied cautiously. "Come in." He stepped inside, taking in the chic interior of her office. "You've done well for yourself," he observed, a faint smile playing on his lips. "Forrester Creations suits you." Electra nodded, both proud and slightly defensive. "It's been a lot of hard work," she said. "But you already know that." He chuckled softly. "I do. And I've always admired your drive, even if I didn't always understand it." His eyes lingered on hers, and for a moment, the world outside seemed to vanish. The conversation flowed naturally, blending casual catching up with the subtle tension of unresolved history. Electra found herself laughing, remembering old jokes and shared memories, while also feeling the familiar pang of emotions she had thought were long buried. "Why now?" she finally asked, curiosity getting the better of her. "Why decide to show up after all this time?" He hesitated, then spoke with a rare honesty. "Because I realized I missed more than just memories, I missed the chance to be part of your life. I wanted to see if there's still a possibility, for us. Or at least, for a friendship." Electra's heart wavered. Part of her wanted to embrace the moment, while another part warned her to be cautious. But the tension, the unspoken feelings, and the undeniable connection made it hard to resist. Dickie's journey of redemption. Meanwhile, Dickie's request to Hope had set in motion a quiet ripple across the Forrester family. As word spread, others began to reflect on the changes they had noticed in him, the way he had been more thoughtful, considerate, and attentive in recent weeks. Hope decided to give Dickie a chance, encouraging him to take small steps toward reconciliation. It wasn't immediate, and it wouldn't be easy, but the possibility of rebuilding trust brought a sense of hope, not just for Dickie, but for everyone involved. Dickie's determination was unwavering. He made efforts to reach out to those he had wronged, offering apologies and acts of kindness. Each interaction was a test of patience and sincerity, but he embraced it wholeheartedly. Slowly, the walls he had built around his heart began to crumble, replaced by genuine connection and mutual understanding. Electra confronts the past. Back at Forrester Creations, the conversation between Electra and her surprise visitor deepened. The initial small talk gave way to more serious reflections, touching on past mistakes, regrets, and the choices that had led them to this point. "I've thought about you," he admitted quietly. "More than I probably should have." Electra's pulse quickened. "I've thought about you too," she confessed, the words slipping out before she could stop them. "Even though I tried not to." A charged silence filled the room. Both were aware of the unspoken tension, the potential for something more, or the risk of reopening old wounds. Electra knew she had a decision to make, whether to embrace the possibility of rekindling a connection or to protect herself from potential heartbreak. The intersection of lives. By the end of the day, the paths of Electra and Dickie, though separate, seemed intertwined by a shared theme, hope, vulnerability, and the courage to confront the past. Electra's surprise visitor had challenged her to face lingering emotions, while Deke's heartfelt request had reminded those around him of the power of honesty and redemption. The Forrester world, always full of drama, intrigue, and passion, had once again shifted. Relationships were tested, alliances reconsidered, and hearts opened in unexpected ways. For Electra, Deke, and those around them, Monday, October 6th, promised to be a turning point, a day where the past met the present and the future held infinite possibilities. As the sun set over Los Angeles, both Electra and Deke reflected on their respective encounters. Change was never easy, but it was inevitable. And sometimes, the most surprising visitors, or the most heartfelt requests, had the power to reshape lives in ways no one could have anticipated. A cliffhanger for tomorrow. Electra watched her visitor leave, her mind racing with questions and emotions. Meanwhile, Deke stepped out of Hope's boutique, feeling a cautious optimism he hadn't felt in years. What would tomorrow bring? Could old flames reignite? Could fractured relationships be mended? For the Forrester family and their circle, the answers were never simple, but they were always dramatic, emotional, and utterly compelling. Monday's events had set the stage for twists, surprises, and heartfelt moments. And as viewers tuned in, they knew one thing for certain: in the world of the bold and the beautiful, hope, love, and unexpected encounters were never in short supply.